heart. Hello. How you doing? This is Rebecca Nichols. This is my podcast, Real Treats. And this is my 12 days of podcasting and 12 days of Christmas to celebrate Christmas. And we are on day 4. How you feeling? Have you worked off all those extra calories? Are you feeling good and positive about 2018? I'm really getting in that mindset of what 2018 is going to mean for me. And I've been sitting with myself today and in fact past few days just really writing and doing a lot of journaling, and which has been really, really powerful. And actually we can connect this a lot to the heart chakra because there's so many great activities that we can do that help us open up our heart, but expressing ourselves and really journaling and expressing gratitude for where we've been is a really powerful way of opening up that heart. Because we're always I was thinking about it today, we're always kind of looking forward a lot to where we want to be, but how many of us are really present and really grateful for where we're at and where we've been and what we've achieved? So I'm always sort of sitting and reflecting on the year and what I've done and where I've been and what I've achieved. And I've done a lot this year. I've really sat down and looked and thought, wow, Rebecca, actually, you should be really proud of yourself, because I'm always kind of like vision, and that's the third eye, and we're going to get to that in a couple of days. And it's really good to have that vision, but it's also, really good to reel yourself back in and get present, because we're often just, really busy, lots of things going on in our head, lots of thoughts, bombarded with a lot of thoughts and maybe outside thoughts or outside influences. And I have a kind of a mentality of is it for me? Do I really desire this? Do I really want to do this? Is this really lighting me up? And I tend to just go with that when I'm thinking about what I really want to do. And I go a lot with feelings, but I'm also, I go really with my gut and my intuition. And it's funny because they say it's your first brain is in your gut. And your second brain is your heart. And the third brain is your actual brain, in which you should use last when and because we can overanalyze a lot of things. And we spoke a lot about the solar plexus yesterday, and the overactivity in the solar plexus would be perfectionism and worrying and overthinking. And that limits us. Really does, because I think we need to step forward in faith and love and alignment with our core desires and what excites us, and really do the stuff that we love. Stop giving your time and energy to things you don't love. I've spoke about my cleaning. And you know how passionate I am about not cleaning. But there's times I'll have to do some cleaning. I can't just live like a complete sloth. But thank God for dishwashers and things like that, of course. But where would I be without my cleaner? I don't know, because a clean home is important to me. But I also, I've got a neighbour. God bless her soul. Should I say that? Is that shaming her? Maybe a little bit. But no, I love her. She's a very good friend of mine as well. She's not just a neighbour, but she's always complaining about the dishes and washing up and stuff. And one of the first things I did when I moved to this flat is I took out the cupboard in the kitchen and replaced it with a dishwasher, because I came with a dishwasher and there wasn't any space for my dishwasher. And I was like, I'm not living without my dishwasher. And we get accustomed to things in life, and we get used to the things that make us happy, or we get used to the things that give us ease and grace in our everyday living. And a dishwasher is just not the one. I can't live without it. And it's the same as a tumble dryer. I just don't know how I could ever exist without these two things in my life. And a cleaner's one of them. There's things like that. I know that they make my life a lot simpler and a lot easier. And I'm all for that. And more for that in 2018. So this is a really great opportunity for you guys to sit down with your thoughts and feelings coming up to the end of the year, and really thinking about what's going to make my life easier in 2018. What's going to light me up? Where am I going to have more time and energy for me to do the things that I love, because I'm not going to be doing the things that I don't love. And, and people always say this saying, isn't it? Oh, that's just life, isn't it? Oh, it's just how it is, isn't it? Oh, it's just how it goes, isn't it? Oh, struggle, innit? It's just life. I don't know. And I'm like, well, it doesn't actually have to be that way. There's so many things that we can do that make our life more easier. I don't know. There's things that I don't get excited about. I don't want to do. I'm not interested in, and I won't give my energy to. And I really don't care what people think of me for me being me. And it's liberating when you're in that space. It's liberating just going, no, this is me. I love me. This is how I am. Like, I am what I am. And we're going to get to that tomorrow. And it's going to be a very interesting chakra when we get to the throat chakra, because we're really going to be expressing ourselves holistically in that chakra and really kind of like not giving a damn. And I want you to not give a damn, people. I want you to give a damn about the things that light you the fuck up. I don't want you to give a damn about anything else. Save all your fucks for magical shit. Okay, so moving on to the heart, let's talk about that. So the two triangles represent heaven and earth, meet in the heart chakra actually to form the Star of David, surrounded by 12 petaled lotus. The heart is the center of the chakras. So you have 3 chakras either side of the heart, and so the heart is the center, which is the balance of your life. So everything always comes back to your heart, will always come back to you, and will always make you feel really good about yourself when you're aligning with who you are and what lights you up and what makes you feel good. It's the center of our core. It is the inner spirit that unites all other forces above and below. So all the chakras above and below, and as above, so below, and even the stars in the heavens and the planets and everything. It's all connected. It all matters to you in your existence here on this planet. So this chakra balances and integrates the realms of the mind and body, bringing a radiant sense of wholeness to the human being. And within this wholeness lies inner peace. Now, I just want to share a story because there's lots of things going on my social media. I'm always looking at stuff. I'm always responding to stuff, and I'm engaging a lot of things. And a guy, which I thought was really sweet, but he put up on his Facebook today, there's no greater feeling than being in love. And he was obviously talking about being in love with his girlfriend. And I put up there, you're so right. It was literally the best thing I ever did was fall in love with myself. And probably not the response he was expecting. Because we're taught from young to seek wholeness outside of self. I don't know if that's because, media, books, fairy tales, romance, everything's been romanticized in so many ways. But we're taught to really love ourselves, appreciate love outside of ourselves. We're not taught like you're enough. Like, go love yourself. Go stand in a mirror and love your damn self. Go stand in a mirror and affirm to yourself how freaking awesome you are. Tell yourself, I love you. I get my son to do it with a mirror every day. Go and look in the mirror and tell yourself you love you. Tell yourself you're good enough. And sometimes he'll say I was saying to him earlier, he was doing some writing. And I know what he's capable of when it comes to writing, but he also gets a bit lazy and he gets a bit frustrated. But I was saying, look, it's really important that you learn to write because of, you're creating and you're writing and you're making things happen. And I'm a witch. We're into writing. We're into spells. We're into creating. And I want him to find value in writing. And he's a bit apprehensive on the whole writing side of things. I'm trying to make him see the importance of it without making him feel inadequate. And I'm like, come on, you're 8. Let's think about this. Your writing is a bit of a big deal. I want you to be able to write. And his handwriting is actually very good. He can write when he applies himself, when he really sits, when he focuses. And then he wrote one line really lovely. And then afterwards I was like, brilliant, babe, come on and now do it. Do the rest of the writing. And then he just broke down. He said that you were pressurizing me. And I didn't feel like I was pressurizing him. So then we had to sit and have this long conversation about feelings and how I made him feel. And I thought it was really beautiful. I thought it was really good that he was actually able to express himself to me in that way. And I think it's beautiful that men get to express themselves in that way. And I've been posting some stuff on my Instagram today about, emotionally detached people. This is a blockage in the heart chakra. So it's perfect that I'm talking about these issues today. And as being a mother of a boy, I really want him to own his feelings, and I want him to be able to express himself. Oh, you hurt me. You said that, and that hurt my feelings. Good. I want you to say that, and I want to come to you and say sorry, and we're going to make amends here. We're going to make peace, because that wasn't my intention. Do you know what I mean? And I think we have to have these brave, vulnerable conversations. I have a lot of really brave conversations and vulnerable conversations with my 8-year-old. And what that does, it opens up a space for him to have brave and open and vulnerable conversations with me as a human being, human to human, not even necessarily mother to son, but actually I trust him with my deepest, darkest secrets. And I know some parents don't get that, and that's your relationship and that's your view and that's your opinion. My mum held a lot back from me, and I still don't know this woman. She's 60 years old. I don't know her. I don't know her childhood. I don't know what happened to her. I don't know her parents. I don't really know anything about this woman who created me. And so when I had Tristan, I was going through a lot of trauma and darkness within myself, because I was trying to still come to terms with a lot of the pain from my own childhood and not being that deeply connected to my mother on a human level. Not just a mother-daughter level, but like on a human level. Like, I got that she was depressed because she was on Prozac a lot of the time, and she was very, very just. She'd cook me dinner, and then she'd send me to, she wouldn't even come in and sit with me and go, what have you got for homework today? How was your day? That never happened. And even when she used to come pick me up from school, it never happened. She chose to have me for whatever reason. I'm very, very grateful. But she wouldn't have the conversations with me that parents need to have with their children. I believe that I've learned a lot from her mistakes, more than I've learned from her actual parenting ability. I also had to go and learn how to be a parent. I had to learn how to love. And I think that is actually what is happening. People don't know how to love. People don't know how to love because they've never been shown love. I was never really shown love, but I was desperate to receive it and get it. So much so that I would go and give my body to copious amounts of men, like way too much, because I was so desperate for that feeling of love or connection to another human being. I was just my love language is affirmations, but I have another love language which is physical touch, and they're very close. It's hard for me to discern sometimes, and it's a very good book, and I do recommend you read it. It's called The Love Languages. It's amazing at discerning. The fact that I was really, really, really deprived, or my love tank was empty. My love tank was empty. That was what it is. My love tank was empty. It was deprived. It was just, it was like driving around practically on empty. I was missing so much care from my life for a very, very long time. So, and I didn't know how to express love. I didn't know how to communicate love. I didn't know how to communicate a lot of the time, actually. I didn't know how to communicate my feelings. I would suppress a lot of my emotions and a lot of feelings. And it's taken me 3 years on this journey to really own a lot of who I am, but also to clear away the pain from my past and to end that story of struggle, which kind of was like just repeating through history, to end the desperation from I had this desperate need to be loved, to feel validated, to feel something. And so when I say falling in love with myself was the best thing I ever did, I completely holistically mean that, from a level of, you cannot really love someone until you love yourself. It's kind of like someone looks at you and you look at them and you see a reflection of yourself in them. That's love for me, because I think we're all mirroring each other one way or another, and you're attracting into your life a person that is who you are. It's a vibe. It's a vibration. And so when we're ending up in chaotic vibrations, in mismatched relationships, or we're seeking, or we're not in the relationship because we're actually gaining mutual love, mutual respect, and that we're really connecting on so many different levels. I mean, it's not just the feelings. It's not just the feel good. It's not just the kissing and the loving and the sex. It's the conversations. It's the going through the hard times. It's someone supporting you when you've got nothing. When you're rock bottom, it's a lot more deeper than surface shit. That's what I think a lot of a lasting relationship is about. And I think we could all start off great in the relationships and we all have that wonderful honeymoon period, but after that it's kind of like, because life is just not life is not smooth sailing, is it? Life is up and down, and we're going to be challenged. I think I found myself more at rock bottom than I have anywhere else, and it's always been a foundation of me to build and create. I'm still upset from some of the things that have happened to me. I'm not going to lie. I'm human, just like you. You're probably dealing with a lot of things that you've dealt with in your life, and maybe you can't forgive and let go. It's a really great opportunity to do that, though. I've also learnt to just forgive myself foremost in a lot of the things that have happened to me. Because I think we get into a state of blame and then we feel shame. And again, I said yesterday, there's a few words that we're going to be banning in 2018. A few words indeed. And I'm excited to share that with you on the podcast over the next few days once we get through the chakras. So stick around. It's going to get more interesting. And there's going to be more topics coming up. I mean, I've spoke a little bit more about relationships. I spoke a bit about relationships in this chakra because it is important, and it is about love, and it is about balance, and it is about harmony. And, you've got to find that within yourself before you can bring that into any relationship. And I don't think it's just love relationships or sexual relationships. I think it's business relationships. I think it's friendships. I speak about the friendships I've had to let go this year, and it's been painful, but it was necessary. We've got to be really precious about who we allow into our space and into our thoughts, and who we allow to dump trash in our minds. People that are limited, people that are negative, people that are projecting their insecurities and fears onto you. Love them from a distance if you have to love them, but don't feel obligated. Obligation is sometimes the destroyer of our dreams in so many ways. I felt the need not to be so obligated anymore. I felt the need not to have to be there for everybody and say yes. I mean, I've probably said no this year more times than I've said no in my whole entire life. It's been powerful. It's been really powerful. So within this chakra, we have the realization within our hearts that spirit and matter are integrated within us. We are spirit and we are matter. We're a mixture and combination of both. And that's a beautiful thing. We're here, magical. We're here. We get back to the root and we go, I'm alive. I'm here. I'm on this planet. This is awesome. Wow. I'm experiencing this thing called life. We find gratitude in that space. And that's where I want you all to be. Like, here, right now, you're listening to this podcast. I want you to really think about, like, just being here and being alive. And how many people aren't here and aren't alive? How many people are fighting for their lives? How many people would love to have your life right now? Always come back to that perspective. It puts everything in place for us almost instantly. You know, I can easily get out of a space of gratitude because I'm always thinking about bigger and better, you know, wondering and dreaming. But I always find myself coming back and finding myself being really humbled and gracious in so many ways. So the triangle represents the descent of the spirit into the body and the ascent of matter rising to meet the spirit. And the Star of David represents the awakening of spirituality whilst being still grounded on the earth plane. So, you know, I'm here. I'm in this flesh, but, you know, I'm not really here a lot of the time. I'm also in the spirit realm a lot more than I probably am here, but that's why I always need to be grounded, and that's how we do get grounded, right? Understanding the importance of getting grounded, and I spoke about that in the root. So the heart is the centre of compassion, the centre of unconditional love. The love experience is no longer based on one's need, sex or desire. So we take that out of the equation because it's an unconditional love. So it's not based on I need you. I'm loving you because I need you, or I love you because of what you can do for me. It's because I just love you. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. It's just simple. It's just love in its purest form. So within the spiral of energy is seen in a Reiki chakra ray symbol. The heart is the centre of that spiral. So the energy is that of radiating and receiving love. So in the fourth chakra, so the ego is actually transcended, and we're able to break away from the sense of self and unite with the infinite and the universal. Boundaries are transcended, and in fact we come to realize that there are no boundaries. We are all connected, but we are but I still believe that boundaries are important for the reason that we have to learn to protect our space. So I think boundaries are really important. So we are all connected, 100%. We are more connected than we realise. But we're connected to the sacred truth, that we're all essentially the same energetic beings, all from the same source. So there is only really love and the separation from love. And so what we call darkness, or people that don't understand love or lacking of love. But they just need to find their way back to love. So we can walk them back to love and show them love and show them kindness and show them empathy. But at the same time, you know, be protective, you know, be very clear on who you are and what you are. I'm always telling people I'm walking this life with love and gratitude. And it's something that I put on my Facebook today. I said, look, you know, there's people I can't take into my 2018 because they just can't walk this path with me. But I wish them all the well in the world, and I don't wish them any harm, and I wish them love, and I want love for them. I just can't take everyone on this journey with me, because not everyone is can sit at that table with you when it comes to moving higher and more and being more. There will be people that want to be envious and jealous of you, and that is an overactivity in this chakra. So we can talk a little bit more about that, and jealousy and envy and greed. The heart center is your most vulnerable place, yes, and when you're hurt you build a wall around it, and your heart is the center of your whole being. And when your heart energy flows fully and freely, you do radiate love around you, and your whole being is full. And the colour associated with this heart is green. Green is the colour of healing. The element associated with the heart is air. And air represents freedom, openness and lightness. And now the heart chakra is connected to my sign, which is a Libra, which makes perfect sense for me. I've always just been this real empath my whole life. I've always been a lover. I've always been a lover. I've done some stupid things, definitely, and I'm not proud of some of the things that I've done in my life, but, you know, I've made some mistakes. I'm human. But I've always deep down had this essence that is of a lover, like, and just wanting to see good and do good and trust, but it's also got me into some really horrible situations where I've just loved too much or given too much, and, you know, I can't ever get that back. But, you live and you learn. The colour associated with the heart is green. And the green is the colour of healing. It's a very healing colour. That's why I think we feel so at peace when we're out in nature. I do. I just feel so connected when I'm out in nature. I just feel so like, yes, this vibe is good. The element is air, which is my sign, air sign. Air represents freedom, openness, lightness. Air also represents our breath, our life force, our vital energy. And when our heart chakras are open and balanced, our beings radiate love and joy. Unconditional love is a state of being which enables us true healing to take place. So, and the colour is green, but it's also pink. Opposite, there's none needed. It's centered and balanced. Element air, sense, touch. Note, F sharp. Endocrine glands, the thymus. Essential oils are jasmine, ylang-ylang, neroli, lavender, melissa, rose. Crystals are aventurine, jade, rose quartz. Foods are cabbage, broccoli, green apples, celery, herbs, cucumbers. You get the drift. Eat your greens, people, because it's good for your heart chakra. Keywords: ability to feel and give love. Empathy, compassion, humanitarian, nurturing, balance, friendly, outgoing, forgiving, harmonious, caring, understanding, energy, hope, inspiration, intuition, cooperation, willing to cooperate, willing to, understand, inspire, something that I'm really big on, and I think you guys really know that already. And really caring a lot about the work that I do, and really caring about a lot of the students and the women that I coach, and seeing them just light up, change, transform, be these beacons of light, trust themselves, believe in themselves. Unbelievable. Phenomenal. In fact, just mind-blowing. And so I'm grateful for that. People with a balanced energy in this chakra will find unconditional love for all living things. Will have a sense of connection and spiritual purpose. Will be in touch with their feelings, and will be sensitive to others' feelings and emotions, which is very important. Will have the ability to give and receive. Open to change and new ideas, able to cope with loss and bereavement, and desire a oneness of mind, body and soul, spirit, if you want to call it that. Yeah, in a relationship. So it's not just about the body and sex. It's not just about mind. It's a spiritual thing. It's a combination of all three. And I think this is probably why I'm still single, people. I really have this desire to have that in a partnership where I really come together in all those three levels, where we can grow together, water each other, has a strong willpower to wait for the right partner. Yes. I do. Highest sexual goal to experience bliss with their partner. Yeah, totally. That connection that you have when you have that mind, body, soul connection. The sex is amazing. It's no denying it when you really connect on all levels. Otherwise, it's just two bodies rubbing against each other. And when you're not really connecting in that area, right? I know, and I feel it. I'm very much an empath. And if I'm not feeling you, I'm not feeling you. And I know you're holding back somewhere. I know you're holding back spiritually or emotionally. So it's a divine union of spiritual, emotional, physical. And, this is what I was saying today about a lot of men. It's not just men, though. It's a lot of women as well. But I'd say it's more common in men that they're emotionally detached, because men can quite easily have sex without it meaning something, but I don't think women can, because the sacral chakra is all to do with emotions, and we are just more in tune there, and that's just who we are. So sex for us probably is more emotional than it is for men. And so guys don't really... some guys do. You're a Pisces, maybe. Or a Cancer, I don't know. Or Libra. Librans, I'm a Libra. We're passionate. We're very passionate in that space. I'm just going to be real. We like it. We like it to be passionate. We like it to be sensual. We love it. Let's not talk about it. Let's get out of that subject. Overactive energy. So yes, I've definitely been this person, with no regrets, because this is, we live and learn, and I think I've got a long time on this planet. I feel like I'm going to be here for a while, so it's okay to make a few mistakes along the way. I used to take on other people's problems and emotions too much, and it was draining for me, and it got me to a place where I was like, oh my God, why couldn't I just say no? Why couldn't I just walk away? Why did I have to take on that? Overactive energy could be demanding, critical, possessive, moody, like a martyr attitude. So, I've sacrificed everything for you. Or a conditional love, which is I'll love you if you love me, you wouldn't go out. If you love me, you wouldn't do this. If you love me, all this stuff. So it's not genuine love if it's conditional, right? Underactive energy, fears about self and involvement with others. So you hold back. You have this distrust again. You don't really commit. Men with a lot of men, you've got a lot of men with commitment issues. They don't want to commit. It's scary for them to commit. It's scary for them to be vulnerable. It's scary for them to be open. It's scary for them to express love, because actually they're probably more scared of being hurt than we are. And I think that's, I'm not scared to admit how I feel for someone, because how I feel for you is an expression of self as well, because I see you and you are me. And so if I can tell you I love you, that's fine. You don't have to tell me you love me back. It's not going to make me feel any less about myself, because I love myself. So it's not going to take from me. Whereas I think a lot of people think if they tell someone they love them, it's scary because they've given a part of themselves away. But that's only because they don't fully, truly love themselves. You can't lose yourself, because if you're love, and you are love, you are pure love. You are love experiencing yourself in here, in this dimension. You can't lose yourself. So when I love you and you don't love me back, it's cool. It's cool. But, there's only so much you can really tolerate of that, right? As well, because we need to be appreciated and we need to be loved in a way that we receive it in our own individual love languages as well. So that's why I think the understanding of love languages is so powerful. There's a lot of grief and guilt that might not be processed in this chakra as well. That can lead to underactivity. So you might have lost things, people, possessions, relationships. You might feel guilty about certain things that you may have done in your life, and that's not being processed very well. You can feel discouraged, covet when you covet a lot, and you're ungrateful, or you repress love, so you don't really express yourself in love. That you can actually love someone, but you don't tell them. I think it's the worst feeling of living with that. Regret, envy, jealousy, which I spoke about. Feeling sorry for themselves. Yeah, I think we've all been there, me included. For a very long time, I felt very sorry for myself, and lots of things have happened to me. And it's you've got to crawl your way back out of that space. And it, when we get into a state of depression, which I've been there too, or a state of anxiety, we can feel very unworthy in that space, and we can feel very abandoned. Afraid of letting go. So, these are things that I really want you to think about now, coming up for the year end. Seriously, forgiveness rituals are really powerful, and I'm going to put in a blog post my end of the year blog post, so watch out for that on the website queenofmylife.london. I'll be sending that out. And if you go to my website, you can actually subscribe to my newsletter. You'll be getting weekly newsletters come January. I've been a bit slacking this year with newsletters because I've been creating programs and I've been writing books, and so I've been slacking in some areas. But everything in divine time. That's what I say. There is no rush for me to get to do the things that I need to do in this life. I have as much time as necessary, and I'm not in a competitive mode. I'm not in an overachievement mode. I'm just in a very much of a being mode, and in a very much of a healing mode, even self-healing. I think this year for me has been a lot of real healing. Jupiter's been in Libra doing what Jupiter needed to do for me. So a lot of transformation has occurred in my own life, and it's been amazing because I've been able to then take that and facilitate and help a lot of other people really show up in their own lives. If you're the kind of person that's a bit indecisive, it's probably not because you're in, and that's an underactive energy, but it's probably because you're not in tune with your own core desires and what you want, or you're afraid to say what you want. And the people who are afraid to say what they want don't usually get what they want. So this is where we need to find courage. Again, like being free, scared of being free, scared of getting hurt, scared of being abandoned. You might feel terrified of being rejected. Wow. I've had people reject me. I've declared love for people and they were just like, no, I just don't feel that way. Okay. Did I die? No, I'm still here. I'm still here doing what I need to do. But imagine to go your whole life and to be thinking about someone and thinking, well, I didn't tell you how I feel about you, and maybe you felt the same. So maybe there's that need to go out there and really express your feelings and tell someone that you love them. Maybe they won't love you back, but it's such courage, and I think it's really necessary for men to step into that space and be bold. And women, sorry, because I think, women need to do the same. It's not just men. I don't want to be bashing men here. I love men, by the way. I'm not anti-men. I really want to support men in this life as much as I want to support women. I just want to be clear on that. I mean, I am a feminist, but I'm all for equality. And eventually I will want to marry and be with a man. I'm attracted to men. I'm interested in men. I'm not, I love men. It's all good. It's all good. I just feel that men need to really connect to that divine feminine and be more emotional. If you need like constant reassurance and you feel that you can't reach out for help, that's also a sign that you're in an underactive energy. Common addictions are soft drugs and cigarettes. Illnesses include heart and circulatory problems, high blood pressure, asthma, insomnia, exhaustion, immune systems being slightly weak. This is connected to cancer in the breast and lung, which I know a lot of people will be upset about hearing things like that. I know a lot of people will be upset about some of the things that I talk about when it comes to these illnesses and diseases, because people don't like to take responsibility for their own energy and their own health, and they want to be able to say, well, no, sickness and disease just happens and we all get it and there's we can't avoid it. But obviously I know from the work that I do and the people I've helped that that's not true, because I know for a fact that we can heal ourselves most definitely in so many ways, because we have that power inside of us to connect to ourselves, and Reiki's taught me that. I had so many problems within myself, aches, pains, back pains, chronic I had fibromyalgia. I didn't have it really bad, but I used to get like really, really weak and couldn't get out of bed and have flares, and my whole body would just go into pain and I couldn't move. It wasn't until I got into the gym and started exercising and started pushing myself and started running and started really pushing my body and telling myself, no, I can do this. I mean, I've got this, and I need more women and more men to be in that mindset of, my health is important. I need to nourish myself, mind, body and soul. So, chest pains, heart failures, shortness of breath, allergies, bronchitis, emphysema, mastitis and cysts, breast cancers, and all that jazz. And I know that people have obviously gone and died and of these things, and it's not been nice, and I know people who are close to me have lost family members to cancers and things, and so I know it's difficult to hear it, because you don't want to think there was a way out of it, and you don't want to think that you could have saved them, or you don't want to think that they've caused it themselves. No one wants to hear that. I'm full of empathy for a lot of people, and I've been in trauma and pain my life. And I know the person I am now, and I know who I was, and I know how depressed and sick and tired and drained and miserable. And, I haven't been sick in 3 years. I haven't had flu. I've had a little bit of a cold here and there. I get a bit bunged up at the moment. I mean, it's the heating that's making me a little bit bunged up at the moment. But I think I keep my thoughts really clear and really positive as much as I can. I'm working on my chakras constantly, meditate, exercising, fresh air, out in nature. So many ways that we can really connect to ourselves that will improve the quality of our lives. But this is self-awareness, people. We need to really be aware of ourselves, 100%. We just do. It's so important. And so ways to balance is compassion, nurturing, conditional love between beings and all beings, just unconditional love, just love. Just feel the love for yourself, feel the love for your life, feel gratitude. It does make a difference. And when we can get out of that mindset of complaining and negativity and moaning and looking at what we don't have, we can find so much more in this life. We can be so much more in this life. And I think that's why I just really would like to end on that today. So just go away from this podcast and really think about all the things that you love, all the things that you have in your life that you love. Imagine, really look and see, with all the things in your life you didn't have them, would you appreciate them more? And I think we're right. And, we take for granted so much that we have. And I think we're more blessed than we realise. Yeah. So sending you all the love. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you for listening. I am very grateful for you. To be here. You could be anywhere and could be doing anything, but you choose to be here with me, which is bettering yourself and raising your consciousness and actually allowing you to be a better person. So thanks for investing this time in yourself. It really is an amazing thing that you're doing right now. You should be proud of yourself. And I just want you to know I do love you. Thank you. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the throat chakra, and I'm excited to share that because it's really about stepping out and really owning who you are. And clear communication goes a really long way, and this is what this throat chakra is all about. Well, I will see you tomorrow. I hope you have a lovely day, evening, wherever you may be. Take care.